Hi there, I'm Michael with Etrailer.com. In this video, we're going to take a quick look at this Blue Ox TrackPro weight distribution system with Suede control. And we're going to kind of go over some of the features, compare it to some other similar options that we have here at Etrailer.com. So first, if you're not familiar with what a weight distribution system is or does, basically, it is going to help distribute the weight of your trailer across all the axles of your tow vehicle and your trailer. So rather than having it put all its tongue weight on your hitch ball, it's going to help level everything out. So it's going to be more stable and controlled for you. And that's going to help alleviate a lot of the issues that you often have when you're towing your trailer, causing your tow vehicle to squat at the rear end, which can put a lot of strain on your rear suspension, can cause your tires to wear unevenly, can bring your front end up, causing your steering to be pretty light, and it can bring your headlights up into the eyes of oncoming traffic. So this is going to help level that all out so that you don't have to worry about any of those issues. This does also have the Suede control built in. So with most weight distribution systems, they're going to use the same basic principle. You're going to have these spring arms that are under tension so that it's going to lift your trailer up. The main difference between most weight distribution systems is going to be the way they achieve that Suede control. So this is going to use two different methods that we'll go over here in a minute as I'm going through everything. But the main factor that you're going to need to consider when looking for a weight distribution system is going to be the weight capacity. So your most important weight capacity is going to be your tongue weight. This is going to have a 10,000 pound gross towing weight, which is the weight of the trailer plus the load included, and a max tongue weight of 1,000 pounds. You are going to need at least 800 pounds to properly engage the system. So an ideal range of between 800 and 1,000 pounds will work for this setup. We do have other options here at Etrailer that give you higher tongue weights. Some give you lower tongue weights, so you want to make sure you're getting the right one for your setup. This system is going to slide right into your 2-inch by 2-inch trailer hitch receiver on your vehicle. You do want to make sure that your hitch is rated for use with weight distribution. Not all of them are, and obviously your whole setup is only as strong as the weakest component. So you want to make sure that you're not overtaxing your hitch. They do include this 5/8 inch diameter pin and clip to hold this into your hitch. We also have locking pins available here at etrailer.com. So if you wanted to purchase that separately, put that on there for a little extra security, make sure no one can take off with your system. And then we're going to have this adjustable height shank here. So we've got these 9 holes that will allow us to raise and lower our head unit to accommodate our trailer height. So to measure our drop, if we have this in the drop position here, if we put our head unit at the lowest position, we're going to measure from the top of our shank, which is about the same as the top inside edge of your receiver tube, down to our ball platform, which is about where our coupler is going to sit. So for this, we are going to have a max drop of about 4.5 inches. So if your coupler sits about 4.5 inches lower than the top inside edge of your receiver tube, this will accommodate that. We can flip this shank over and use it in the rise position. If we were to set the head at the highest position there, we would have a max rise of 10.5 inches. So if your coupler were to sit 10.5 inches higher than your receiver tube, and that will allow you to accommodate that. And then of course we have all those incremental adjustments in between those two extremes. One thing to note is you are going to want your ball to be the same or an inch higher than your coupler. So that's going to give you some wiggle room there depending on which direction you're going. But that's because as you put weight on it, it is going to drop down a little bit. So you do want it to be at least the same height, if not just a little bit higher than your coupler. Our head is going to feature this 2 5/16 inch hitch ball that comes pre-installed. So that's one less thing that you have to worry about installing, torquing down. This is going to have the required tilt built in, which is a really nice feature for this setup. Most weight distribution systems are going to require a tilt for the head. A lot of them achieve that by using a pin and washers. So you have to kind of stack the washers to get it the right tilt there, and take washers off, add washers to it until you get it to where it needs to be. So it can be kind of a hassle to use that system. That's why I like this so much. Having that tilt built in, you're not going to have to worry about fumbling with those washers. So it is going to be much easier to get set up. This also has a positive caster angle built into the head, so it is going to be the first part of our sway control system. It's going to help keep our trailer centered and prevent it from swaying before it begins to sway. So that is a nice feature in this. As you can see on the back side here, we do have these grease Zerks built in the back of these Trunions. So that's going to make maintenance very easy. Just hook up your grease gun, pump some grease in there, keep everything well lubricated. Our tapered springs are going to be attached to our head unit with these included pins and clips. So you just slide the spring bar in, get those holes lined up, and you can pass the pin through and have a nice solid connection there. These spring bars are going to flex appropriately to give you the controlled even ride that you need. Like I said, this is the main component for most weight distribution systems. These arms are going to give you that leverage to make sure that everything's going to be nice and level. One really nice thing about this system is that these arms are interchangeable. So this is where your weight capacity is going to come from. These arms do come in different thicknesses to give higher weight capacities, give them more strength, or lower weight capacities. So you can switch these bars out if you were to get a different trailer in the future. So rather than having to get a whole new setup, you can just switch out those arms and work with a trailer with higher weight capacity or lower weight and that sort of thing. So a nice feature with these, being able to change them out if you need to. These spring bars are going to be attached to the trailer with these brackets. So these brackets will mount onto your trailer frame. They are a clamp-on design, so you're not going to have to drill into your trailer's frame at all. They work with trailers up to 6 inches tall, and these can be adjusted along the frame. They mount from 20 inches back from your hitch ball up to 25 inches back, so you've got 5 inches there to work with to accommodate other frame-mounted items such as your gas tanks, battery boxes, toolboxes, generators, that sort of thing. So once these are installed, you've got this L bracket here. That's going to be where the spring will sit. So you'll get the frames mounted onto your trailer. You'll install the rest of the system onto your tow vehicle, and then you'll raise up your tongue jack to take some of that pressure off the spring bars, and then you'll use this lever tool here that's included to get under those spring bars and kind of leverage it up onto that L bracket. And then you'll be able to lower your jack again. Of course, you will want to make sure that you put the retaining clip in so it's not going to find its way off that L bracket. But those L brackets are going to do a great job of holding those spring bars rigidly to keep your trailer in place. So that's going to be our second portion of that sway control system. It's using that steel-on-steel friction to correct any sway that you may experience with sudden maneuvers or big wind, gusts, that sort of thing. So one downside to that steel-on-steel friction design is that it can be kind of noisy. So if you're going down the road and it's rubbing steel on steel, it might give you some high-pitched squeals and squeaks and that sort of thing. So some people don't really like that. There are other systems that use chains to hold those spring bars up. So those are going to be a little bit quieter for you, but most of them don't have that sway control system because the chains swing too freely. There are some that correct that through other methods, but overall, this system is going to do a good job of keeping your trailer in line with that steel-on-steel friction. Just going to create a little bit of noise for you. These are going to be compatible. This system is going to be compatible with your surge type brake actuator. So if your trailer uses a surge brake actuator to slow and stop itself, applying those brakes, this system will still allow that to happen. This is constructed of a durable steel, so it is going to be very strong and corrosion resistant with the black powder coat finish that's on it. So it will hold up really well for you for a long time to come. A couple additional features they include are some safety chain extension links. So if your safety chains don't quite reach, once you get this all installed, you can put these on there, get you an extra little bit of length. They also include a reducer sleeve. So if you were to switch out your hitch ball and you needed or you have one with a smaller diameter shank, this will allow you to reduce down to a 1-inch diameter shank. And of course, they do include instructions not only on how to assemble the unit itself, but also how to get it all set up with your system, how to make sure that your trailer is going to ride level and whatnot. Everything you need to know is going to be in those instructions there. So comparing this to other models, looking at your good, better, best, I would say this is probably somewhere in between your good and better. I think it's got some additional features like that tilt built into the head unit there. I think it's a little bit better than some of the options on the market, although it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of your really high-end system. So I think it's going to do a good job for you. I think you'll be happy with it. The only bad thing I can really see is that noise that might be created or will likely be created with that steel-on-steel friction. But as long as that drop is going to work, or drop or rise is going to work to make sure it's level with your trailer and it's got the weight capacity that you need, I think this is going to get the job done for you. So that completes our look for today. Again, I'm Michael with Etrailer.com. Thanks for watching.